Hey guys, this is Randa from Georgia Wife Life and welcome back. So, today is Tuesday and actually tomorrow, don't mind my hair, it's work in progress, but tomorrow is actually the first day of the spring semester for 2019, and so I would like to talk about what happened last semester with anatomy specifically, all of my classes, but anatomy specifically, and give you guys some pointers on how to study. This semester I'm going to be taking anatomy 2, but last semester I actually finished with a 100, and I know a lot of people struggle with anatomy. I've taken anatomy before in the LPN program. It wasn't as in depth, but I did remember some things which helped me with to get a grade of 100, but there were a lot of things I didn't remember and a lot of time I had to spend. So I would like to share some pointers with you and what I used to study for anatomy to get the 100. So the first thing I would like to say, this is, I don't know if you guys use this book, but this is a book I used, and literally I spent so much time total reading the chapters. A lot of people, it doesn't help to read the chapters, but for me it did help, especially in the beginning, the first few chapters, because I didn't remember anything about biology or about chemistry or about a lot of subjects. So what helped me to understand it was reading the chapter before I went in for lecture. And so when she was talking, my professor, when she was speaking about certain things, I understood a little bit at least of what she was talking about. At least I had heard it first before she had started teaching. So it was helpful to me because going to lecture, it wasn't the first time I heard whatever she was talking about. So I wasn't completely lost. And then when she goes to another subject I've never heard of, it just gets overbearing, because that happened towards the end of the semester. When I didn't have time to read the chapters, she would talk about a subject and then immediately go to the next subject, and immediately go to the next subject, and I'd never heard of any of the subjects. So it was very overwhelming for me. So if you can, if it helps, I think that it was helpful to me to read at least the PowerPoint, or for me, read the chapter in the book before lecture, so that you can hear or you can understand something a little bit before your professor spiels on about 50,000 different topics. Something that also helped me was these flashcards. I don't know if it's specifically these flashcards. I haven't used any other anatomy flashcards, so I can't say that this is the best, but this is the one I chose off of Amazon. It was probably, I want to say it was less than $15, and it was very helpful, especially for bones and muscles. I'm going to show you what they look like. Let's try the skeletal, the bones. This is what it looks like. It shows you from different views, different bones, and then on the back it tells you what the bone's name is, and then it gives you a little bit of information about it. So let me show you one from the muscle group 2, because that's specifically what I used it for, the bones and the muscles. And then I used it a little bit for some other things. Here's a muscle, or a muscle group. And you'll notice that some of them are highlighted. It's only highlighted, because for us, we didn't have to learn all of the muscles. We had to learn 200 and something. I don't remember. It was a lot, but we didn't have to learn all of them. Same for the bones. In the feet, each little bone in the feet is a different name. We didn't have to learn all of that. We just had to learn the number. And let me show you one more for the nervous system, if I can get them out. Oh, here's one for the cranial nerves. So I found this to be very helpful, very helpful. And this flashcard set is from Kaplan Medical, and it goes through the endocrine system, the cardio system, the lymphatic system, respiratory, digestive, urinary, everything. It has sensory systems, and then in the back, which I haven't used, are interactive coloring cards. So if that's helpful to you. I'm not a colorer. I thought I would be, because I actually bought an anatomy coloring book, but I never used it. If you want to see that, I have that too. This is my anatomy coloring book. I think I used it once. Ooh, it's dirty, I'm sorry. Anyway, I only used it once, and it didn't seem very helpful to me. The last thing I can say that was helpful for me, specifically with anatomy, was something that my professor said before she even started the class. She told us that if you think that you're gonna, just come into this class and, study once a week and still get a B or an A, then you are very wrong. And I thought, like, oh, she's funny, like, it won't be as bad as she says it is. I had remembered in LPN school that anatomy was hard, but I'm like, I got this, I'm confident. But, the first lecture you're faced with, like, all the lab homework and all of the, chapters that you have to read for one test and all of the notes and everything, and you're like, wow, she's not kidding. It's a lot of information with any anatomy class. You can have the easiest anatomy teacher, but if you actually want to learn something and be able to use it for the future, like in a nursing career, you have to take in the time, put in the time to put your effort in, and then you'll get the A or the B out. And so to me, she gave us the advice to live and breathe anatomy, and that's exactly what I did. Any spare time I had, like if I was on the toilet, TMI, but if I was on the toilet, I was going over anatomy flashcards, Quizlets, I was going over something anatomy related. And in the end, I was able to pass with a good grade, because it takes a lot of time. It does. And I assume anatomy 2 will be the same, and microbiology, which is what I'm taking next semester, will be about the same. But anatomy specifically, especially if you're not used to anatomy class, anatomy 1 is gonna consume your life if you want to make a good grade. And those who didn't consume their life didn't make a good grade, because it takes the time. Either you put the time in or you don't. So that's pretty much what helped me. I didn't use the anatomy coloring book, but reading the book before reading the chapters before the lectures. Oh, also something else I did was on my way to class, I would put on a lecture. It didn't even have to be my professor's lecture, but if YouTube actually has a lot of good lectures on anatomy. So if you're going over, let's say, muscles or bones, the muscular system, let's say the muscular system. There are lectures online where you just put anatomy and physiology and you put muscular system, and somebody will pop up, and it'll be an hour, but you don't have to listen to all of it. And I would just drive, because my commute is about 40 minutes, I would drive and listen to the lecture. And if there was something that, I couldn't hear, because I'm a safe driver, I would just double tap and repeat it. I wouldn't be looking at the slides on the YouTube, but I would be listening. And that helped me a lot to commit things to memory, or commit different processes. There's a lot of processes in anatomy. Commit the processes to memory. And then, of course, the flashcards, and what else did I say? Time. So those are the things that helped me pass anatomy with an A, and I hope they help you. Let me know what you're taking this semester. I'm excited. I'm going to try and make another video about what I'm taking this semester and how I plan to study. So thanks for coming, and thanks for clicking on this video and watching. You can like it and comment below about what you're taking and what your plan is. So I'll see you guys later.